Hi everybody, welcome back to the Stalker universe, and this, my friends, is Stalker Anomaly. Not Stalker Anomaly Gamma, which people have probably heard of more than Stalker Anomaly, but this is the original Stalker Anomaly. So what I thought we would do is kind of have a bit of a wander around and talk about, what is this? What is Stalker? Why is Stalker 2 so exciting? And maybe this will be of use to people who maybe when they play Stalker 2 are like, wow, this is love. I really enjoyed the Stalker universe. I want to explore some of the earlier games and also explore some of the mods as well, because Stalker is well known for its multitude of mods that you can get. So, what is Stalker as a whole? So, Stalker is made by a Ukrainian developer and publisher, and it's set in the Chernobyl nuclear power plant exclusion zone, kind of I guess around about our sort of timescale really. And the idea is that in 1986 there was the explosion at the nuclear power plant, just like in our time zone, and the area was sealed off by the military and everybody was evacuated. But then there was a second explosion a few years later, which wasn't actually at the power plant, but somewhere nearby. And then there was all these strange anomalies started to appear in the zone, and strange happenings. And these anomalies were like local, like balls of lightning, or electricity, or fire, or radiation, or like you can see here, this glowing thing here. And around these anomalies, there would be found sometimes artifacts. And these artifacts would be small items, but they would have special powers often. So, is there something? I don't want to get too close because it'll give me radiation poisoning. There we go. There's a powerful anomaly there. And these artifacts, if you found them, could do things like protect you from radiation, or make you stronger, or enable you to survive in dangerous locations, protect you from bullets, all sorts of wonderful things these artifacts would do, and hence they were worth a lot of money. And so people would then smuggle themselves or sneak into the exclusion zone to find their fame and fortune with these artifacts. And these were the Stalkers. This is who you play in the first game, Shadow of Chernobyl. And so you're kind of in the zone, you're there looking for artifacts that you can then sell off to traders or use to make your character more powerful. And that's kind of the core gameplay loop of a lot of Stalker games. And what was unusual about the Stalker games at the time, remember they came out in 2007, 2008, 2009, the original ones, was that they were kind of semi-open world. And so you'd have these big levels that would link to other big levels, and although you had like storyline quests to follow and side quests to follow, you could kind of do them in the order that you wanted to, and had a lot of freedom. I mean, in essence, it was a first-person story shooter. You spend lots of your time, using machine guns and things like that, but you felt like you had lots of freedom to do things the way that... Have I got a torch? The way that you wanted to do, and they still stand up today. You can play the original series on PC, or the kind of slightly remastered ones on console, where they've taken out lots of the bugs and they've improved certain things, and they're the ones that I played. I've played the original series, and I think they're really, really good fun. And the story is quite interesting. Shadow of Chernobyl is the first one. Clear Sky, the next one, is actually a prequel, and then you have Call of Pripyat, which is the final one, which sort of completes the original story. And I think that they're great games. The gunplay is fun, the story is fun, the open world aspect is fun. If you're coming from something like DayZ, what you're seeing here looks probably quite familiar. You're like, wait a minute, this is definitely Eastern Europe. This looks very much DayZ-like, and it is. And that's really cool. Also, it really helps if you're from something like DayZ, and then you'll be used to the jankiness of these older games. So what is this then? What am I playing here? What is Anomaly? So in about if I get bits of this story wrong, please forgive me. So sort of in 2000, I think it was 2012, 2013. Hello. 2012, 2013. You then had how do I crouch? You had these. The GSC, the game publisher and developer, kind of ceased operation. and the game files got released, not officially or anything like that, but they became available. And this is when the modding side of the Stalker series really took off. I mean, people had done add-on mods, so mods where you had to have the game and, you know, to change things like the graphics and gameplay. But then you started to get standalone mods, and standalone mods are quite unusual. So if you're familiar with DayZ and games like that, you have mods, Cyberpunk, where you apply a mod and it will change something in the game. With standalone mods, however, they're whole complete rewrites of the game. So it's a standalone thing. You download it and you play it, and you don't need to own the base game to actually do it. And that's what Anomaly is. And the idea is that people took all of the map elements from the original trilogy and stuck them all together in one big game, and then added some of the quests, altered some things, changed the gameplay, this sort of thing, to create this standalone experience, which is very unusual, because obviously normally what would happen is somebody at the game company would go, "Oi, you're not allowed to do that," and hit them with a cease and desist. Now, what happened was the fact that now GSE is back in action, and has been for the last few years, and has, you know, Stalker 2 at the time of before this video is coming out, I think it's November the 20th, so not that long away. But basically they've said, look, we understand that these mods, standalone mods, have kept the Stalker community alive and engaged for, you know, the last several years, and therefore, you know, we're not going to pull them down. However, what we'd like you to do is, in the menus, can you just make sure there's links to the original game so people have the opportunity to go and buy them? And that's what lots of these mods have done. If you go into the menus now, you can't in this version of Anomaly, because this is an older version, and there's one that's going to be that's updated, but I've gone with the older version, playing the older version. So that's why these games exist and are allowed to exist. So they're fascinating. Now, what you can then do is with Anomaly, the idea is it takes these original games, sticks them all together, and takes you to a time period kind of after the original games, so that you can carry on having a Stalker experience without being tied down to the original storylines. So you can choose when you start a new game for Anomaly, for example, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a Stalker? Do you want to be a mercenary? Do you want to be work for Clear Sky? Do you want to be a bandit? Do you want to be a monolith person? Do you want to work for duty? We're being trapped in a... That wasn't good. So that was an anomaly there that could have hurt us an awful lot. And then, you know, where do you want to start? So each... Oh dear. That wasn't good. So each faction kind of has... You can start somewhere random, or each faction can start where they are. And I think I'm playing... a mercenary this time, and so I'm starting in the Dead City, and then you can go and talk to someone, and there's storyline that you can work your way through, and you can also, you know, go off on random quests and start enjoying yourself, because a big part of this is I haven't put any clothes on. A big part of this is leveling up your character in terms of the gear that you're wearing, the weapons that you have, all this sort of stuff is very, very important. Also, what they've done as well is with these mods, they tend to be made by people who really enjoy Stalker and want to take it to the next level. So often they can be a little bit harder as well. Where's my is that everything? The torch would go there, wouldn't it? So they have things like you need to use batteries for things. The survival elements are much harsher in terms of eating. Anomalies tend to be a lot more dangerous, like we can see there. I should really have my detector out, I guess, and be listening out for these things. And they build on the idea of having a sandbox world in a way that, although the original games are a bit sandboxy, the idea of this is it's almost like the DayZ experience, where you spawn in and then you can wander around doing your own thing. But it's not just an empty world like DayZ is, with real players and then zombies. You've got all these NPCs wandering around doing stuff. Okay, so hopefully that's kind of given you an idea of where we're coming from with Anomaly. Look, there's an NPC there. You get friendly NPCs, neutral NPCs, enemy NPCs. How you interact with their faction will then determine, you know, are they friendly or not? Are they going to trade with you or not? Are they going to shoot you on sight? All that sort of stuff. So let's get our PDA out anyway, and let's have a look at it. So let's zoom out a little bit. So I start off here in my faction in the Dead City, and then in the original game, for example, you'll start off down here at the village of Cordon, and the kind of the gameplay loop, I guess you'd say, normally is to kind of slowly make your way north, doing various quests and getting more powerful, till eventually you can end up at the nuclear power plant here at Chernobyl, where there's going to be sort of very dangerous enemies, but also very good loot as well. You've got things like, is that the Red Forest? See, I'm not sure where all these places are, but there is. There's Dead City, Rostock, Truck Cemetery, that's Garbage, the Dark Valley. Now this is why often it's really good to have already played through the original games, because you'll be looking at the Great Swamps, so for example that's from Clear Sky, because you want to go back and you'll want to explore these places and maybe find some people who you met before, and then go on, you know, emergent adventures. So they're very exciting, really. Now, Stalker 2 is out in a couple of weeks at the time of recording this video. It's going to be on a new engine. Initial reports from people who have played demos and gone on it early do seem to be very, very impressed. Obviously, we'll have to see whether it will have the Stalker magic that the earlier games have had. But I've watched quite a bit of footage, and I think, yeah, it looks very, very nice indeed. So I, for one, am looking forward to it. And it does help the fact that it's on Xbox Game Pass, so I can play on PC and or my Xbox as well. So, back to Stalker Anomaly then. So why would you want to play something like this? Well, I think really you're looking at playing something like this after you've played the original trilogy there, and you want more of this kind of OG Stalker experience. And it's not completely OG. Can we go up here? Can we open this? Because there's lots of gameplay changes over the originals, but it definitely, the way I kind of say it is this: when I was playing the original games, the original Stalker games, they're janky and the graphics are old, and you're thinking, you're working your way through, and you're playing it sometimes to finish the game. You know, you're working your way through, and you're doing quest after quest, and maybe not exploring like you should. But when you finish, for example, Shadow of Chernobyl, I was like, I need to play the next one now. I enjoyed that. I want to be back in the Stalker world. And it's a bit like that with, if you like DayZ or PUBG or something like that, you really enjoy the universe that the game is set in. And this is what these games really give you. They allow you to carry on exploring and experiencing the Stalker universe, albeit maybe in a little bit of a tougher environment. But because you're familiar with things like anomalies and artifacts and detectors and bear detectors and gravity detectors and all this sorts of stuff, you can get that extra. There we go. There's something going on down there. You can get that extra fun and experience out of it. So there we go. I'm wandering around here, and if I get my PDA out, actually, we can see that I haven't got any tasks. So I need to go and talk to someone now, and get some jobs off someone. In fact, let's go and have a look. Okay, so we should really go back and talk to these people here. As you can see, there's things happening in the bottom left-hand corner where people are saying "help us," and we could go and do that. But I'm pretty underpowered at the moment. I've only got like a pistol. I'm not quite sure why there's no mini-map either. That might be a setting we need to look into. I could leave this out, can't I? Oh, these guys look like they know what they're doing, don't they? this... Ah, right, so this guy's going to be a... be able to fix things. Is there any work you want done? If you can bring me some tools, you'll receive payment. Are you up for it? Yes, please, yes. Find basic tools. I'll pay you for the tools. Thanks. Anything else? Okay. Okay, brilliant. So he's our engineer. Oh, right, so this guy's going to be a trader, isn't he? Oh, can you lend some money? No, I don't want him. I employ that as a job that needs to capture from the enemy. Bring him on. Capture enemy documents. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Anything else? So these are really interesting as well, because if we go and kill someone of a different faction, like a duty guy or a clear sky guy or things like that, it's going to affect our relationship with that faction. So this is where things can... Let's see, we'll do it. I really want some easy jobs. Was this where we came in? Somewhere upstairs. Yeah, let's go and have another look upstairs. Because what we want to do at this point is just take on as many contracts as we can, so we can just kind of wander around. Aha! This is where we started, wasn't it? Let's have a talk to these people. Oh, what are they doing? Right, chaps. Let's see what this guy's going to say. Okay, he's just a fast travel person. Oh, he's not going to talk to me. This is the boss. Move your cell. Is there any work you want done? Pseudo joint hand. Okay. Military faction pouch. So again, patches. So we'd have to get 20 kill 20 military faction soldiers. Okay. Bandit private channel. Got info out. Blow it so it's into an better high ground. So we can find out about what the current situation is. Okay. So if we look in my inventory here, you can see, that's me, you see, I'm a mercenary faction person. This is the kind of the gear I've got. Ooh, this is the gear I've got. I've only got a pistol. Right, so let's check our PDA again. Administration. So here we go, poacher. Contract killer, where's that? Capture enemy documents. There's the guy we've got to kill. So let's see where that is. So we're all the way up here, so we'd have to make our way through Yantar, which is probably very dangerous to get into Agroprom. What thing can we do? Find basic tools. Okay, so that's just generally. Contract killers there. Okay, so that's not too far away. Go this way to the army warehouses to kill that guy. So that's probably what we're going to do next. Make our way there with our little pistol, and we're going to be doing lots and lots of save scumming because we'll probably die. What you tend to hope that happens is, as you're wandering along, some stalkers or mercenaries or soldiers will get. He's got a nice suit. That's a very nice suit. We run into, say, someone like this who just had a battle with some mutants and they're dead, and you can take their gear off them, which can always be good. But there we go, that's a taste of Stalker Anomaly. We've wandered around the dead city. I've waffled on about how wonderful Stalker is. If you're coming from the world of DayZ, it's kind of a little bit like DayZ with quests and then lots of NPCs. It's a little bit like that, and I tend to think if you enjoy solo DayZ, you know, wandering around doing your own thing, you'll really enjoy Stalker, because it's a single player story driven kind of game, but very much open world. In fact, that the way that the open world works is when we get to the edge of, say, there, that then transports us to kind of there. So you don't wander around all this bit, you're kind of going from that and then to that, and then you have this big area there, and if you leave there, that'll then take you to there. So it's not true open world like DayZ would be, but you know, it's good enough. So there we go, Stalker Anomaly. What do you think? Put your questions in the comments down below. Are you looking forward to Stalker 2 like I am? And of course, I will see you again soon.